Alright, shalom and praise be unto Yahweh, Hashem Shai, Hashem Rakah, Kodash, double honors unto the elder apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone, who rule well and to us his truth. Shalom to the 144,000, and I'm the rest of the elect. And this is a clip here, sent by the elder Kayakram, and it's on from X, Mark Moss page, and it says, do you want this superpower? Okay. And pretty much what I'm gonna do is play it and then bring out a few scriptures and stuff, man. But this just goes to show that prophecy is steady pressing on. Prophecy isn't waiting for anybody. You can't postpone prophecy. What will be in its appointed time, man. And right now we're seeing the signs come to pass. The likes of 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, admonishes us to measure the time diligently, man. So we keep up to date with what's going on in the world, and we can clearly see that as we measure the time is drawing close. All right, and that mark of the beast system is pretty much here, and let me just play the video and then we'll take it from there. Lord willing, the sound comes through.
Take a vitamin every morning. What if I could take vitamin authentication? What? Vitamin authentication. Look, I have one right here. Well, here, I'll let you hold it. Would you like to hold it? I'll hold it. Okay. So, this, you guys see it? This pill has a small chip inside of it with a switch. It also has what amounts to an inside-out potato battery. When you swallow it, the acids in your stomach serve as the electrolyte, and they power it up, and the switch goes on and off. And it creates an 18-bit ECG-like signal in your body, and essentially your entire body becomes your authentication token. Yes, this is true. Okay?
Okay, but...
Okay, so wait. So it's really true. So what this means is that becomes my first superpower. I really want this superpower. It means that my arms are like wires, my hands are like alligator clips when I touch my phone.
You see that becomes my superpower, my first superpower. Yeah, obviously she's marketing the thing, but it's the way she's saying it. It's like it shows you that they want to come with that. Why wouldn't you take it? Considering all that this thing can do, why wouldn't you take it? Right now, to market the chip, they're gonna come with all these fantastical things, or you can swallow it and it becomes an authentication system, and your whole body becomes the authenticator, and your arms are like wires and this and that. That's just like colors to a kid, a kid in a candy shop, things, that will draw the people in, but we know that there's a lot of things which are like preemptors or preps rather to the actual chip. Okay, case in point, the C19, there was a lot of things coming out, and we did plenty of videos on it whereby that was prepping the body to have another thing inserted, so this is coming from like a medical standpoint slightly. You become an authentication system and that, but we do know according to the scripture that something is going to be implanted. Okay, so this swallowing technique of this is just like a fancy thing to like draw people in, or you can become an authenticator. But with the actual chip, it's going to be more than just the authenticator. It's going to be everything within you. Your phone's in you, your medical records are in you, all your IDs are in you, everything will be in you, man. Okay.
Computer, my door, my car, I'm authenticated in. First superpower. Like, I want that.
So we're not shipping that right away.
Yeah, no. We're not shipping that right away. But it sounds like...
This is
See, so it was verified for medical application, but it's gonna be, of course, the chip, which is for everything application. You know, it's gonna be for everything, man. Okay, so you know it's up in the medical world now. You know, and you know, I might do another video on that. The shortage of doctors. Salaka, excuse me. The shortage of doctors and nurses. You know, in the NHS over here in England. You know, I know people that work directly in the National Health Service, and you know, shit, I used to work in it myself. But the NHS is crumbling. It's been that way, but it's getting worse and worse as the months go by. You know, that's why they're trialing robots to do initial consultations with people and things of that nature. So anything in a technology stead that can help alleviate the pressure, they're gonna push that. So you know, the medical route is a very good way where it concerns the devil and his agenda to push the plans on people of ultimately getting chipped. Because it's like, well, you're sick, right? So, you know, the new way to get addressed and seen is by this robot. You know, I remember watching the news a couple of months ago. They actually had robots in the doctor's surgery, you know, asking people questions, man. Trying to diagnose what's up with them. Okay? And I mean, it's no different from a person, really, because doctors just go through a checklist. Have you got this? Have you got that? And have you got this but not that? And you got this and this but not that, and not that but this and that. Yeah, it's just a checklist, you know, exercise. And then they just put you into a category of the nearest thing what it could be, you know. So with a robot doing it, it only takes out the personable side of it, you know. But they're letting you do these things. You know, yeah, I want to book an appointment with a robot. Okay, but then again, if you're sick to the point where you need to be seen, you're not gonna care. Well, the people in the world ain't gonna care if it's a robot or not. They just want to be seen and given something so that they can get better. And this is where the causation comes in. A large part of the causation will be through healthcare. Okay. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13. And I'll start from verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So if you don't get down with the system, they're going to start saying, well, you're a liability to the society, so we're going to have to kill you. You know, they started teasing the idea of being comfortable with people dying in C19. You know, they were saying it on the news, oh, well, we just have to get comfortable. You know, when Boris Johnson was in office, you know, when he was the PM, oh yeah, well, I mean, we just have to be comfortable with the fact people are going to die. You know, people are going to die. You know, getting people comfortable with the fact that they're just going to die. You know, so when it becomes a thing of legislation, well, you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that, okay, you got to go. That's the scripture right here. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in their foreheads, man. Okay, you know, and that's the implantable, that's the charagma, man. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And it's buying and selling, but it's that also constitutes as literally taking part in society, man. You know, okay. Because it's all based around business, you know, the trading and acceptance of good exports and imports, man. You know, buying and selling, okay. But it's a causation, man. You know, it's not that he suggested to all people. It's a causation. You know, and a large part of the causation will be through healthcare, man. And this is why, again, we're saying it, man. They've got the things they're actually going to implant inside of you, but to get the people backed up in the corner, the initial stages is doing it through avenues that people are heavily dependent upon the system for, which is healthcare. You know, one of the biggest avenues people are dependent, because nobody likes being sick, man. You know, if nobody likes being in pain, you know. So if you've got an option to have that pain reduced, but they say, well, for us to help you, for us to treat you, for us to see you as a patient, you got to do this, you got to swallow that, and, you know, your body becomes your authenticator. Now, you don't have to go to the GP, you know, the general practitioner. You don't have to go to the doctor's surgery. You know, your body just retake this. Your body notifies us, your stats of what's going on inside of you. So if you're not down with that, then they'll say, well, sorry, you can't be seen. So that's the causation, man. Slowly backing up society into a corner where they have no choice but to accept it. Otherwise, suffer exclusion, pain, suffering, you know, and social shame. Okay, they show you that in like these Black Mirror shows, man, episodes, social shame for bad social score credit and all kind of stuff like that. So it's a causation, man. It's a causation. Okay. So this is just steps closer to the chip, man. But yeah, they want to get people to start swallowing chips and stuff, rice grains. And again, this is just another preliminary thing, prepping the people for the real thing, which will be put into the flesh, man. Okay, you know, as far as I know, you know, the chip ain't gonna be that. You know, the actual mark of the beast ain't gonna be swallowed. It's gonna be put in you. You know, it's a cut. You know, when you swallow food, you're not cutting yourself. You're ingesting food. You know, the first stage of digestion is what? Your salivatory glands and your teeth. Your saliva contains particular chemicals in it which help break down the food. And then, of course, your teeth break down the food. So the first stage of digestion is the mouth. All right? The chip is not going to be digested. I swallowed it as a tablet. No. The chip is going to be inserted as a cut. Okay? A physical cut, insertion into the body. Yeah? Okay? Because that's the nature of how it will be administered in the scriptures. So this thing is just like a high tech, trying to get people in with the bright lights of technology, as it were. But it's ultimately gonna result in them having to get the ultimate thing, which is the insertion, man. Yeah, the word for mark there in the Greek is charagma, right? Which says a mark stamp, imprinted mark. Graven, okay, sculptured, etching, scratch, you know, so it's an insertion, man, you know, it's an insertion. So yeah, but again, it's all part of the causation, you know. Part of the causation will be administered through healthcare, man. And into that amount, man. Shalom.